Vinny, no. I mean, you just don't know how to give up.
No, I know exactly how to give up. You know what scares me, Kev? Is that it's easy.
Come on, this is insane.
Dreams that we took the hot property.
This is bad, Angelo. You gotta do something.
I can't be part of you getting hurt no more.
I'm not done. All right, I got more in me.
Now go out there and show me how you do things. Show me how you live. Show me how you fight. Show me who you are.
여러분들께 이분들을 소개하는 것을 무척 기쁘게 생각합니다. 여러분 영화를 보시면 알겠지만 여러분들 굉장한 큰 위안과 용기를 이 영화를 통해서 얻길 바라십니다. 영화 속에서 트레이너 케빈 역을 맡으셨죠. 여러분들이 아마 영화를 보시면 아시겠지만 배우가 캐릭터를 위해서 이렇게 변신할 수 있다는 사실에 놀라울 겁니다. 영화 속에서 트레이너 케빈 역을 맡아주신 에크하트님의 인사 말씀드립니다.
Hello. Thank you for coming out tonight. We're so proud to have our film here, Bleed for This, here, and that you guys have come and made the effort to come out here to see our movie. So thank you very much.
It's wonderful to be here. You know, again, Whiplash was a very small film in the United States, and I think it actually made almost as much money in Korea as it did in the United States. So that's, you know, applause to you guys. Thank you so much for seeing that film. You know, again, this was a small film we made, a small budget, but I think it resonates. I think language is really just kind of, you know, it's not really a barrier for when you see the journey that Vinny Pazienza goes through. That is something that's going to resonate, I think, with all of you. It's truly an incredible, true story, and it was an honor to play this man who is just a complete warrior and someone who refused to give up. And so I think Ben wrote a beautiful script, and Aaron and I tried not to mess it up. And we're very thankful to be accepted and to be a part of the Busan Film Festival. Is one of the few, you know, I don't know how many other American films are here, but it's a big honor for us, so thank you.
Anything, so I'm not going to tell you anything about the movie other than that these guys work very hard, and you'll see them. You may not even recognize these two men who are standing here now when you see the movie. You definitely won't know that he's in the film. And he is huge in the movie and just becomes a massive boxer. But what I really want to say is that in America, this country is known as a really film-loving country. You guys appreciate cinema in a way that you could say some people in America don't. So we're really excited to have the film here in Busan because that's who we want to show the movie to, people who love cinema. So thank you for having us. Conscious of the movies that came before us. Did you see Martin Scorsese's name?
Yeah.
He made arguably the greatest boxing movie of all time, Raging Bull. So I think it was simple. We borrowed from the things that were great, and we avoided the things that were not. I don't mean from Raging Bull. I mean from all boxing movies. We stayed more away from cliches, from tropes that you see in boxing films. And I would say we found our own way. I don't think we focused at all on other boxing movies. Not as far as emulating or as far as trying to avoid. We made our movie. If it feels different, then that's great. But I don't think we made a super conscious effort to stay away or to copy.
네, 그래서
Vinny, I think he was 8 years old. He saw Rocky in theaters, and that movie really set him on the path for his life. He saw Rocky. He rode his bike home from the theater, and he told his parents that he was going to be a world champion. He told his parents he was going to be a world champion boxer. And his dad even talked about this. He's like, man, you know how many kids saw Rocky and were so inspired by that and came home and said, I'm going to be a world champion boxer, Daddy. You know how many guys actually did it? You know, very few. So for Vinny, that Rocky absolutely was a huge inspiration and changed the course of his life.
Just follow the script. You just say what the director wants you to say. So there's not, as Ben said, there's not a lot of thinking about whether you're following another movie. In fact, as an actor, I don't watch other movies that are in the same genre or the same, milieu, because I don't want to be affected by those movies. So we have a job to do. We have, Miles had Vinny, I had Kevin. We researched those characters through the archives. Vinny was on set with us, so we could use him. Kevin Rooney, unfortunately, was in the hospital. But really, as actors, you just focus on the job you have to do that day, and hopefully you get through that day and get through the movie.
Prior to this movie, I really had no knowledge of him or his story, and that was pretty shocking to me, considering, we all agree this is the greatest comeback in sports history. So to not hear about it, I was pretty shocked. And honestly, we filmed this movie 2 years ago. I met Ben almost 3 years ago. This was before Whiplash had come out. This was before I had really done any movie had come out where I'd shown any kind of real dramatic chops as far as I'm concerned. And when I was sent the script, I was just blown away. I love actors that have played boxers, who have done boxing movies, who aren't afraid to kind of look, who aren't worried about, vanity on camera. Like, what actor doesn't want to have blood on his face with gloves on and just saying, like, bring it on? To me, there's nothing more, in my own mind, nothing more masculine and nothing more kind of cinematic than that. But when I met Ben for the part, I read the script and I said, man, this is going to be an incredible part for somebody else. When I met Ben, I really did not think that he was thinking about me to play the part of Vinny. I was in what I like to say, funny friendship. I'd done some romantic comedies or some other movies where I was like the second or even third lead in it. And I just felt like, there was a lot of actors that were gonna meet men that were, a little older, in good shape, just had that kind of, a little bit of that testosterone and, bravado needed for this part. So I honestly did not think Ben was thinking about me for it. And the fact that Ben gave me this opportunity, I'm so, grateful to him for that. And it took a lot of work on my part to get in the shape. But it takes a director believing in you to do something that you haven't done before. There's a lot of other actors that were out there, but the fact that Ben, based on a very limited body of work, felt like I could play this man, this larger-than-life person, I owe it all to Ben, because without this opportunity, I wouldn't have been able to, show that I connected to this material in this way.
네, 비니라는 그런 비니 파센서에 대해서
Oh, doesn't it? What do I have to say?
네, I'm going to translate. I need to translate before I forget. 비니 파센서에 대해서 제가 사실 이름도 들어보지 잘 못했었고 이 극적인 이야기에 대해서는 더더욱 몰랐었어. 이런 이야기를 제가 모르고 있다는 사실에도 되게 슈퍼를 받았었고요. What was the most difficult part of acting in this film? If you had to choose one particular
hardship or difficulty or challenge?
I mean, the training leading up to it was hard, you know, 8 months of diet, and I lost 20 pounds, and I got down to 6% body fat, and all those things. That really was just square one. Once we were filming, having the metal halo in my head was extremely difficult. I think if we had if this was a studio film, a bigger budget, I would have had a lot of fittings, and it would have made sure it was comfortable. That didn't happen. It's independent filmmaking. So she literally went to the hospital that week, got this thing from a hospital. I tried it on once. Then we got to filming, and obviously this thing's not screwed into my head, but it has to be so tight that it doesn't move. And it's not like Vinny's just walking, you know, in a wheelchair. Vinny's doing all of these things. So we put little rubber pieces at the end of each screw, and I had it in my head so much to where I had 4 dents, 2 in the front and 2 in the back, to where I could let her know when she had found the right spot, because I had a groove in my skull. And that's uncomfortable. You're in that for 12 hours a day, but you know, you get on a project like this man's life is so inspiring, and you feel so indebted, and you feel so responsible for this guy's legacy that you don't complain by any means, but it was very, very uncomfortable.
이제 그 헤일로라는 교정기를 계속해서 착용을 하고 연기를 해야 됐던 게 제일 힘들었다고 합니다. 그래서 이게 아무래도 예산이 그렇게 많지 않은 영화다 보니까 뭔가 헤일로 준비 작업이라든지 이런 것도 조금 시원찮았고, 그리고 그래서 병원에서 이거
just getting into the characters this was such a specific movie that revolved around Rhode Island, and it was the accent for me was very difficult. He was a boxer from Staten Island. He was a former boxer, so you know he'd broken his nose many times, so he had a very distinct voice. It was just getting to know that specific region of America where this story took place and making it accurate. That was, I think, the most difficult.
Because of the accent, frankly. We all like boxing, but we thought that the comeback aspect of it was the part worth telling. It was the part that everyone could relate to. I didn't want to reveal too much when I introduced the film, but you see now, I mean, the recovery he makes, there's nothing like it. There's never been anything like it. I doubt anyone will ever do it again. So that's where it began. That's where it ended. Was that accent and that recovery.
So it was on a shoestring budget, low budget. How much was the budget?
$6 million.
600만 달러였습니다.
I got paid $4 million. Just
저는 출연료를 400만 달러를 받았습니다.
Actually, we should qualify that so no one takes that seriously. They were paid scale.
진짜 믿으시진 않았으면 좋겠어요.
Everyone who took part in this movie did it because they loved it. No one got rich.
네, 이것 때문에 돈 번 사람은 없다라고 했습니다.
Ben took his salary and put it back into the film so that we could get an extra, 2 days of filming. He still hasn't gotten his salary from the film. It's true. He put it all
벤
into
감독님이
production.
자신의 월급을 쏟아서 영화에 부으셨다고 해요. 그래서 벤 감독님의 그러한 기부 덕분에 촬영분 2일을 더 확보할 수가 있었대요. 근데 아직까지 거기에 대해서는
They pay for my dinner now. All.
그 이후로 계속해서 이제 밥은 저희 배우분들이 사고 계시다. How long did it take you to make this film? And it's Kevin, you had like pot belly in the film, but you look much slimmer now. And Vinny was much bigger in the film, but you're much slimmer now. What happened?
Hey.
What happened?
Whoa.
네, 그 제작 기간 25일 걸렸습니다.
So the answer for the second question?
So you looked different from, I mean, you got slimmer, you got
Yeah,
slimmer.
well, as you see in the archival footage, Kevin Rooney at that point in his life was overweight, he was drinking a lot, gambling. He was at a low point in his life, and I just tried to look as much as I could like him. So I gained weight and shaved my head, and you know, just whatever you have to do for the movie.
일단 정말 팬이고요. 마일즈텔러의 정말 빅팬.
I love you.
Question for Marcella. So I read that you were in a car accident, and I would like to know in your past. So I would like to know if this had some sort of impact on you playing out your role. She's very worried that it might have impacted.
Beautiful question, by the way. Thank you.
좋은 질문 감사드립니다.
Yeah, the very first film I did was with Aaron. It was actually. Oh baby, it's getting good now. Yeah, so the very first scene of the very first movie I ever did was with Aaron. There was no rehearsal for that movie, and I just graduated college, and I remember going on set and being very nervous, and I knew that I had a scene with both Aaron and Nicole Kidman. I had met Nicole briefly, but there was no rehearsal or anything. So I know that I had this scene with the great Aaron Eckhart, but I had not met him or even seen him. So then director yells action, and out comes Aaron. And I meet him legitimately on camera for my first take. And the director had told Aaron that it was my first movie, it was my first scene, I just graduated college, and to just go off book, say whatever you want, and I want you to just scare the crap out of this kid. And Aaron is such a great actor, especially with, I think, that kind of emotion, and he comes in, and he's just giving it to me, yelling at me, saying all these words that aren't in the script, and I just remember watching him. And I just remember somewhere in the back of my head just smiling because I was watching real actors, act. And honestly, it was truly like an out-of-body experience. And then the director yelled cut, and I realized, oh my God, I was just admiring, Aaron and Nicole for an entire take and didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, absolutely, you're not so intimidating now, by the way. But the very first thing I did was with Aaron, and obviously those characters' interactions were much different, and to come, back and have this story where we're really, peers in a way, although he is my trainer, teaching me a lot. It was great, man. Aaron and I actually share an aging, and what I'm saying is that in 10 years we're going to play Siamese twins, so we can just be there for each other.
여하튼 어쨌든 지금은 또 트레이너 그리고 복서의 그런 관계를 보여주는 역할을 했는데 10년 뒤에는 아마도 서로 이제 너무 친해서 샴쌍둥이 역할을 하지 않을까라고 하시는 농담으로 얘기를 하셨어요. 저렇게 샴쌍둥이. 그렇죠.
감독님이랑 지금 잠깐 얘기를 했는데 그 관중분들 배경으로 해서 사진을 한 장 찍으시겠다고
Director and the actors would like to take a photo with the audience at the back.
예, 뒤에서 환호 좀 많이
If you
부탁드리겠습니다.
could cheer for the team, that'd be great.
You have a text message.
문자 오셨다고. 감독님 문자 사진은 영상 찍으시다